Well, Browns fans, while it might have seemed a little low octane, I thought that was a sincerely impressive win last night by a team that had their backs against the wall. And what a thrill it must have been for the national Thursday night football audience to get to watch the Browns' much-hyped cavalcade of stars in action. They got to see all of their favorite household names contribute to this win, like D'Ernest Johnson, Blake Hance, backup fullback Johnny Stanton, and who is that guy? John Kelly? We have a John Kelly? All right, well, good for him. The point is, it wasn't exactly our A team out there last night, and that's what made it so impressive to me. The fact that they managed to win despite all the injuries is a sign that the Browns are a disciplined, well-coached, and deep team, and that's fantastic. That said, we obviously also need to keep things in perspective. First and foremost, let's look at who we beat. These are no longer the storied John Elway Broncos of yesteryear. Side note, I always hope that I might one day reach a point of emotional maturity that when the broadcast cuts to John Elway sitting in his suite, I won't feel a deep, relentless fury from the moment he's on screen until the moment they cut away. Yesterday was not that day. And I'm not saying all this merely to ridicule the Broncos, although that's obviously a pleasant bonus. I'm saying that we should be careful not to assign too much meaning to the performances of anyone based on one game. First and foremost, Mr. Case Keenum. Keenum looked great. He managed the game well, he did exactly what he was hired to do, and most importantly, he got the win. And unsurprisingly, based on that result, I've already seen a decent number of Browns fans suggesting that moving forward, it should be Case starting rather than Mayfield, even once Baker is all healed up. And I believe that makes this a good time to just tap the brakes and put this in perspective. Yes, Keenum did a solid job, but please remember that there are reasons that Stefanski decided Case would be backing up Baker and not vice versa. And he was more familiar with Keenum's skill set than anyone, having coached him in Minnesota. And back then, he saw what we all saw last night, a competent but not spectacular quarterback who could perform well within the right system, but lacks whatever that elusive certain something is that truly special quarterbacks have. And honestly, whether Baker has that certain something remains to be seen, but he's certainly shown flashes of it, and that's why Stefanski gave him the reins. I would compare being a backup quarterback to being a fun uncle like me. See, I have not yet been blessed with children, but I am a fun uncle. And sometimes, as an uncle, I've been called upon to help out. Maybe something comes up and I'm asked to watch my nieces for a couple hours. Well, when I do that, my family all acts like I'm the greatest guy in the world for watching those kids. Not because I do such a good job, I don't. I'm just stuffing them with fast food the whole time, inadvertently teaching them new curse words, and generally letting them do whatever the hell they want, which they seem to enjoy. And because the bar is so low, as long as those kids are still alive when my sister gets back, I come off looking great. But we fun uncles also have limitations. I'm not suitable to be in charge of children long term. I'm in a kickball league. I have no idea how to do fractions, and my fridge only has Miller High Life and mustard in it right now. Like Case Keenum, I'm much better suited as a temporary stopgap than I am a long-term, serious solution. All that said, here's to you, Case Keenum. Nice job out there, buddy, from one fun uncle to another. Thanks for holding it down until Dad gets back. And go Browns!
You nailed it.
Such a phenomenal analogy.
Yes, it is, because what was his term? Competent, if not spectacular?
But not
spectacular.
But not spectacular.
And, you know, that's really what this team needed last night. They needed somebody who wasn't going to give the football away.
Right.
They needed somebody who could hand off, somebody who could make the quick, short pass accurately, and he did that.
Yep.
And as a result, Betts, it can't be overstated the difference 4-3 and 3-4.
Absolutely. Well, there's a mood difference for one. Not just with the fans either. I'm sure there's a mood difference in the locker room.
Trust me, when they go back to work after this little weekend break, when they go back next week, they're going to feel energized. They're going to feel like they're in a much different place, because 4-3, it's just one game in the standings.
Right.
But the difference between 4-3 and 3-4 is a continent.
We've been 3-4. We know what that feels like.
We know 3-4. There were years 3-4 would have felt pretty good.
We've been 3-8. We've been 3 and a lot.
We've been 0-16.
Yeah,
so let's face it.
You went there, not me.
We'll take 4.